Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're all doing well out there. So last night I saw Presence, the new Stephen Soderbergh ghost movie. Saw the trailer for this like 4 months ago, was immediately hooked. I had to see this movie, so I was there opening night. And I gotta say, this movie was not quite what I was expecting. But that's not a bad thing. Presence was shot in 11 days, which is pretty damn impressive whenever you think about it, considering what Stephen Soderbergh accomplished here. There are no close-up shots in the movie. It's all like medium framing, which pulls into the characters and then slowly backs out. But actually, I think all of the shots are one continuous take. The shots are broken up by these 2-minute segues of just black screen. And I think it's kind of cool the way it does that because it sort of gives the viewer a minute to process what just happened. This movie reminded me of quite a few things. The first to come to mind was the A24 movie, A Ghost Story. Just sort of this brooding, slow-paced kind of love story in a way. It's not scary at all. Maybe a little bit of The Others, a kind of classic haunting sort of film, and also in line with something like The Changeling. Presence has a very classic sort of Hitchcock quality to it. If you're going into this expecting jump scare ghost movie, you will be thoroughly disappointed. That's not what I was expecting from this movie. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but I think it would have been a disservice to just be like jump scare, scary ghost movie. One word that I am seeing thrown around a lot to describe this movie is unique, and I definitely see why. It is a unique movie. It is completely from the POV of the ghost that is haunting this house. There's sort of a disconnect with the viewer and what's taking place on the screen. It's almost feels voyeuristic, like you're inside somebody's house watching this family drama unfold. Now, within the first few minutes of the movie, I got a little worried. I was like, is this Gimmick? If for lack of a better word. I know that kind of has like negative connotations, but let's face it, this is a new way to see a movie. I was like, is this Gimmick going to get old after a while? Because in the first few minutes, I was like, okay, it's just lots of tracking shots, tracking, kind of POV, voyeuristic. And to my surprise, no, I settled in very quickly with the idea of this movie. And halfway through the movie, I wasn't even aware that we were seeing this from the POV of the ghost. It just felt like I was naturally watching all of this unfold. So a quick rundown of the cast here. Julia Fox makes a quick appearance as the realtor. Lucy Liu is undoubtedly the biggest star of the movie. She's kind of
like a little bitch.
I mean, she's kind of toxic. She has 2 children, her son Tyler and her daughter Chloe, and it's very obvious that Tyler is her favorite, and they're almost like, you ever see those mother-sons that are a little too close? It almost seems like they're flirty at times. There's a lot of that in this. Yeah, there's nothing more disturbing than my son is my king energy. It's like, ugh. Too close. All the while, she is denying her daughter Chloe's obvious pain that she's going through. She lost her best friend to an accidental drug overdose not even 2 months earlier. And anytime the stepdad brings it up, like, hey, I think she needs some help, she does that good old classic boomer parenting technique of, oh, she just needs time. Let's just ignore my daughter's obvious trauma and hope it works itself out. And speaking of the stepdad, Chris, played by Chris Sullivan, I think he is the fan favorite here. He was my favorite character. He's sort of the anchor of this movie. He's the logical character sort of caught up in between trying to make Lucy Liu, her character, happy, who's kind of insufferable, while trying to be a good dad to Chloe.
It's the fear of being forgotten or ignored, and I can feel it. It's here, in the house.
Oh, for Christ's sake, seriously, what the fuck?
Whoa.
I get it that you guys have to listen to this shit, but I don't. You're seeing shit? Are you fucking serious right now?
Hey, no.
No, it's fucking ridiculous. This is just another way she's gonna make me look like a fucking idiot.
You're already
Tyler.
crushing that
Guys,
asshole.
come on, let's de-escalate
You
this.
fucked me up with your shit last year, but you won't fuck me up this time.
Like, he's a good dude, and he also provides some moments of levity throughout the movie. Like, he just kind of says funny shit and gives the audience a chance to have a few laughs. There were some lighthearted moments in this that felt very natural. And then there's the son, Tyler, the mom's favorite. He is kind of a douche. There's this whole subplot where he plays this mean prank on a girl in his school, and there's sort of a divide in this family. It's Lucy Liu and her son Tyler on one side, then you have Chris and Chloe on the other, and they're kind of the side that you root for, or not even really root for, they're just more likable. So the daughter Chloe, you could definitely say she's like the star of the movie. She is the one that senses the presence. And then we have the presence itself, the POV from which we are viewing this movie. We don't know a lot about their story. We know nothing about it. There are some theories. That I read that would kind of give stuff away, and I'm gonna steer clear of that for now. But I love that the backstory of the presence was very ambiguous. You don't need a lot of backstory. You don't need a scene where the dad goes in the attic and finds a book that has all this information about what happened. Or even worse, that trip when they go to the library and scroll through old newspapers. That seems to be in like every generic ghost horror movie. Thank God there's none of that. I think it works better as a mystery to who this presence is or was. And to round out the cast, you have Tyler's friend Ryan that shows up, and he kind of has this thing going on with Chloe. They're sort of dating / hooking up. Again, I will keep this spoiler free, but if you've seen the movie, we are not a fan of Ryan. He is a little mop top, little shit. Don't like that kid. I can't say that this is a scary movie. It is sad. It's haunting. Yeah, it's kind of light on scares, which is totally okay. This is more of a mood atmosphere instead of shocks and thrills. This was truly a unique watch, and I would highly recommend seeing it in theaters. And I also have to give a mention to the score of this movie, which I absolutely loved. It had a very classical feeling to it, like just piano, cellos, and violins. Again, sort of Hitchcockian. And I've been listening to the soundtrack today, which is on Spotify, and it's only 16 minutes long. Each track is like maybe 1 to 2 minutes, but just hauntingly beautiful piano music done by Zach Ryan. While the movie itself is light on scares and more about atmosphere, again, which is totally fine, the last act is pretty intense, especially the final scene. It was what I thought was a perfect ending. It's a ghost. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I thought the ending showed a lot of restraint. It could have gone for the classic, or not even classic, generic, like, gotcha moment, cut to black, ooh, big spooky moment. But thank God it didn't do that. There is a theory going around that the identity of the presence is sort of revealed by what happens at the end of the movie. I don't know if that's true. I think this is sort of a draw your own conclusion type of thing. But yeah, this movie will kind of stick with you. I was thinking about this movie as I was falling asleep last night, as someone that has kind of unfortunately been in a situation, like lived somewhere where I was living with a presence, like a haunting. It definitely brought back a lot of memories, which maybe I'll share those stories on another episode or at another time. Go see Presence. I think you will enjoy this. Again, don't go into this thinking it's going to be popcorn, horror flick, James Wan, jump scare city. Thankfully, it was not that. It went a more classical horror mood and atmosphere kind of route, which I am all about. I can't emphasize the score enough. Like, it's so good. Actually, while I'm editing this, I will be listening to it. So I think that's going to wrap it up for now. Have you seen the movie? If you have, let me know what you thought in the comments. Don't give anything away. And hey, like the video if you got a second. It would mean a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. But yeah, that's going to do it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.